I am so excited for this call. I was literally just copy coaching my clients on copy. So I'm like in the vibe, in the energy, bringing it all. So I'm so excited for this messaging workshop. How are you all feeling today? What inspired you to come? Curiosity and up level. Love it. Amazing. Cheryl, I'm ready to launch and want to get right. Wait, hold on. What is it? Get it right at the start. Oh, Cheryl, we have a little bit of perfectionism. Uh-oh. Okay, we can talk about that. Anyone else? What about you, Helen? Congratulations! You're in the magnet. This woman, you guys, this woman has been craving to be in this container for so long, and she made it happen. How do you feel? Can we just tell?
I'm beyond excited. I've been wanting this for a whole year, and I've made it happen last minute.
Yeah. Listen, you did not hold, you were not willing to let go. You were like, I believe in this, I believe in me. You really went
Yes,
for it.
I did.
Creatively, extremely creative, trusting yourself. So
Yes,
beautiful.
yes,
Anything that you
yes.
want to offer to anyone who feels like a little bit like scared monetarily or just in general? Like what got you to be a yes to you?
I guess it was the belief, and I wanted this so bad. I was willing to. I guess it was the, I know this is what I need, and I had the belief in myself that, and I'm willing to do the work and commit. And I guess it's the real belief that you can do it, and it's not being a rescue. Like, this isn't the rescue. I've got it in
Mm,
myself and the belief.
so good. So good. So good. Okay, so I just want to congratulate you, Helen, and just let
Thank you.
everyone know that if you're still feeling into magnetize, just really ask your future self what decision did they make about this because they know best. I always say that to my clients, as you said, Helen, it's not something to rescue you, it's something to expand you. And every single person that comes through, I mean, the net is doing another round. Danette, can you, how was it for, like, is it true that expansion is the vibe?
Maybe this won't maybe land for everyone, but for me personally, the reason why I've been learning from you for so long and I've joined again, it's not so much about what I'll learn. It's more about being around someone who's so expanded and someone who believes in themselves to the point that you do. Is when I watch you, when I interact with you, it helps me believe in myself deeper. And that's what ultimately is valuable for me. But of course, your teachings are top tier too. But it's the
You're like,
secondary
wait,
thing
let me
for
not
me.
discount all the teaching is fine.
Yeah. It's just
Oh.
secondary for me.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the
yeah.
expansion that my soul, my heart, my mind is craving because that's what will last for me.
Amen, sister. Agreed. Agreed. That's how I think about my investments too. So thank you so much for sharing. So anyone who doesn't know, we're talking about magnetize, monetize, 3-month experience. I help you elevate your message to attract premium clients, but I help you elevate literally every cell of your being. Maybe that should be in the tagline. It's like way more than just messaging, but we also get down to like the nitty gritty, which we're going to get into today. So without further ado, I was just saying to my momentum clients, I was just on a call with them. Tracy's one of them. Hi, how are you, my love? And the thing that I open with, because what I do is I literally get into your copy. When you're my client, especially in this round of Magnetize, I'm going to be hosting these copy coaching calls. And what we do in the copy coaching calls is we get into your little words, the structure, the energy, the vibe, like the whole thing. What do you really want to say? How do we want to articulate it clearly? So it's very like a lot in your logical mind, right? It's like the thinking brain. But what I want to offer that is so essential when it comes to your messaging is that we also allow ourselves to be equally as present for the precision of the words as much as we are for the self-expression of what the poeticness that wants to come through. The conversation we had in the grocery store with some random person that gave us a breakthrough, the conversation we had in a cuddle puddle, like one of my clients, I literally gave that example, and she's like, I was in a cuddle puddle and I had a breakthrough. If you guys don't know what a cuddle puddle is, don't worry, but it's just moments in life where you're being you're walking through life and you're in the kitchen, you had a thought, you were talking to your kids and something came up. Like, it's just letting you be the messenger. And I give this example when Jesus came into this world, and it doesn't matter if you're religious, not believing Jesus or not, whatever. Jesus was a person that clearly left a message in the world. And he was being a messenger. He was not thinking, is my copyright? Is my sermon correct? Let me just revise it just to make sure that Jesus was being a channel for the message. And Jesus was not thinking, let me just show up 4 times a week and then like, I'm going to be tired after that. Jesus was like, I am a living and breathing example of my message. That this is who I became to be in this world. This is who I came to be in the world. So I hold nothing back. I let everything be a message. I let every moment in my life be a source of my inspiration. I let everything that I say be shared, or everything that I think that I feel is meaningful be shared, because that's what my people need. That's what my people need to hear. So I really want to invite you all, as we go through the specifics, which we're going to get into, of your message, that you also notice where in your brand are you holding back from just letting yourself be the vessel, from just letting yourself be the channel. And you're in the, how many times a week do I post? 5 times a week, and what time of the week, and all of that bullshit. Pardon my language, but even Tracy, who's all in the Christian, she allows me to swear. She's all about it. So, by the way, if you don't like cussing, it's not gonna be a fit. Please don't join, because I cuss a lot. So just make sure you don't join if that really triggers you. Also, please feel free to leave a call if that's a lot, because I cuss a lot. So can you let yourself be the vessel and be used? And whenever you're getting into like the how many times a week am I posting, whatever, it's like, now, that means you're overthinking, and that means you need to post now. So what is the feeling that you're having? I'm overthinking it. How does this relate to my clients? How do my clients overthink? How do my clients doubt themselves? Okay, let's follow the flow. Let's follow the flow. That's just a post idea that came through, right? And so letting yourself share your life throughout is the content. Is the content that's now landing, is the content that people connect with, is the content that people will feel enchanted by. And that's the thing that people feel magnetic. Like, this is why people are like, just feel magnetized to you. Why? Is because I really let myself be like the teacher and the like, let me tell you that we need to work together. But also I allow myself to go into the depths of like my soul and the random things that happen, like my ex-boyfriend telling me that my face wasn't his type. And then I turn that into a post. I'm like, ha ha ha, when your ex says your face is not my type, but then you go and show your face on your online to the world and make 7 figures. Like, anything is a point of content, even your worst heartbreak, like it was for me, right? Like every part. It doesn't mean that you need to now go share everything that you don't feel safe sharing yet. Just means that day to day, like little things, thoughts in the shower, just a little sentence. Being in the flow, being the messenger is what helps you become that and have a message. Not pretend that you have a message, but you're not actually the messenger. You're like, I really don't actually want to do this. If you sign up to be a coach, the coach that wants to change lives, the coach that is committed to the transformation of people, sorry to tell you, you are a messenger, right? If you're here because you want to just create a course, make money, and never think about your business, I am not your coach. This is not what we do here. I'm not like I'm not going to help you do like a faceless account. That's some other people. I want to help. I want to impact the world. I want intimacy with my clients. I want to help. If you don't like coaching, maybe don't be a coach, or I'm just not a coach for you. Just FYI. So with that said, letting the messenger come out, embodying the messenger in you, having your own back in what you say, not giving a fuck if it lands or not, doing it for you because you are the messenger. With that being said, let's get into the coaching. So let's get into it. Okay, my love, Sarah. Okay, so you are a what type of coach are you? You said spiritual guide. Who do you help? People who had trauma. What do you offer? A VIP 4-month package at $4,800 with your method/portal. And you gave me a document. This is a document that you want me to review. All right, beautiful. So let's just bring it up, and I'm going to share my screen so that we can all vibe together. Okay, so I just want to say this is what we will do on the copy coaching calls, you and I. But one of the things that happens that I won't probably be able to do here as precisely is when you get into my world, you're my client, I know you, right? Like I will have context. I will know more about you. I will know your vibe, your like your thing, like your like the fact that you go to cuddle puddles, like I know with my clients, you know, like I will know you. So then I'll be like, hey, this is missing. The cuddle puddle story is missing here, right? So I don't know you guys that deeply right now. And that's why there will be some parts that I won't have full context and I might ask you some extra questions, but this is kind of like full disclosure. Can I ask you what the intention of this post is, Sarah?
Sure. So the intent is really to speak to a pattern that my ideal client has, and then shifting their perspective and then bringing them into the call to action to join the Soul Talk method.
Okay, so your intention is to sell your program.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's see. And I want everyone in the room, if we're here, this is an intimate workshop. This is how I do it in my copy coaching calls. And I ask people, how does this land with you? Is this clear? Is this not clear? Because then this is a mastermind, right? Like that's what we do inside masterminding. So the first line of our posts are always designed to really hook us and our attention, right? Especially now, reels, everybody just attention span is short. I don't believe that attention span is short. I believe that attention span is only short when we are not being interesting. So if we're not being interesting and precise and clear and captivating, yeah, attention span will be short. But if you're being captivating, if you're being precise, if you're being profound, if you're being not profound, but like if you're just being the vibe, people will want to read the vibe. This is something that it's hard to explain, but we get into it when I coach you, right? It's like maintaining the vibe throughout. And like, if you don't want to get into like, what's the vibe? The simplest way to captivate someone is to be so precise in how we describe their problem, like eerily precise. So let's see, stop betraying yourself to get approval. Does this line make me want to read the next? Can everyone in the room just, if you feel comfortable just taking part of like a masterminding experience, does it make you feel like you want to read the line? Okay, the second line, it does not. Anyone else? You're not going to hurt her feelings. I mean, Sarah, are you open to having?
Please be honest.
Yeah, let's just get consent first. But yes, please. Kind of, but not really. Okay, great. Let's go. Anyone else? I am just highlighting this one thing. Okay, so the reason why it's not is because you're kind of stating something that could just be a post. You're just kind of saying a thing that could be a post on its own, like could be just one line. You have say less, like this could just be your post for the day. So betraying yourself to get approval. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no build up. There's nothing really that gets me to want to read the second line, right? And you say, because you will keep covering up who you are, because you will keep covering up who you truly are. And dear one, that is the most exhausting life to live. Agreed. I mean, this makes sense, right? And then you get into, let's keep reading. If I were to talk to my 16-year-old self who didn't believe she was good enough, now you're getting me. Story time, lovable or confident. To have the life that I have now, I would say it's not your fault that you struggle to trust others and keep being taken advantage of. You don't have to stay quiet to keep the peace. You need to allow the rage out and any other emotion that you have suppressed to just survive. You can speak about your sexual abuse and the pieces that you think you have to keep hidden. You don't have to be afraid to express you are worthy and safe to be simply you. You can let go of the chaos, stress, and trying to fix everyone to put yourself first with your freedom is your birthright. Because it's when you finally start expressing yourself and tell the truth that you will finally start to be free. Yes, there is more to life than just staying stuck in just this. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit lost in the post as is.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I see that's underlying all of this beautiful share is a story. Like, I want to hear your story. I mean, it sounds like you're open to sharing about this difficult thing in your life, which was speaking about your sexual abuse and the pieces that keep you hidden. How many women that maybe you work with have gone through that trauma? Possibly, often, some. So you could tell a story around that. Maybe not just specifically sexual abuse, but you could say, like, when I was 16 years old, there's something that I haven't really shared with people. Or maybe if you've shared with people, you could say there's something that I've shared with only the closest people in my life, or there's something that I rarely share, or there's something that only a few people know in my life. And that is that when I was 16, I was sexually abused and I used to hold a lot of shame around that. Maybe. Is that something that would resonate with you in terms of sharing, or you don't want to lead with that?
Yeah, I guess like as I'm reading this back to like there is a lot, like it needs to be more precise because it's a
Yeah.
little bit confusing. It's like all these little points, they could probably be their own post.
Post.
Yeah, like that's definitely something I do speak about because a lot of my clients come with that and then not being able to speak up about it.
And so I think the point, and also here's what I love that you're noticing that, right? Like, we're trying to make a lot of points here. We're trying to make about feeling good enough, not confident enough, struggling to keep being taken advantage of, being quiet. There's a lot of things going on here. It's almost like you're losing me. What's the real core thing here? So I initially thought that it was something about people pleasing. So betraying yourself just to get approval, something like that. But I wasn't sure what you were talking about. So I think everyone was kind of like confused. Like, what is this post about? Covering up who you are is exhausting. I want precision here. Right? So this is kind of like its own thing. And then you start with a story, and then the story kind of goes in multiple different directions. So it's kind of like losing when you're trying to imagine a movie. Like I like to study Hollywood. When I say that, I mean like their storytelling. Because obviously they know how to write a good script when it comes to movies. And there are principles that allow us to stay tuned for 3 hours in a movie. So it's not like we have a short attention span. Is that they know how to captivate us. One of the principles when it comes to creating a really amazing movie that people want to watch for 3 hours is, think about when you watch a movie, the first 10 minutes, you know the plot, and they start in the most like captivating moment of the movie, like when the person got killed, when the person got kidnapped, when the person like got whatever the like most captivating moment of the movie, like the middle. They start with that to capture your attention, and then they unwind, and then they tell the story around it. There's a story arc. So here you kind of got to it later a little bit here. I think like this is a good, you're talking about yourself in a story that could be shared from like the most captivating moment, or the most there's a word for this and I'm like forgetting right now. There's a word for it, but there's the most captivating moment. And then from there, we unwind the plot, right? Like the plot is, this is what this post is about. And then let me tell you the backstory. So I would like for you to take the story and think about the one takeaway that you want people to take from here. So it can be a million things. What is the main thing that you feel like could be that you want to leave people with?
That's a good question, because I feel like, especially now that I posted this a couple weeks ago and I just grabbed one, and now looking back at it, I'm like, there's just too many things.
Okay, so here's how we get to clarity on this. I would think about my client, and I would think about what are the things, what are some of the ways in which trauma is showing up in their life. So just think about, it could be shame. Maybe there are things that they're ashamed of. And so your story can be like, when I was 16, I was sexually abused and I haven't told many people about it because I used to hold shame around it. Like that could be like your captivating moment. Or it could be, if you don't want to go there, we don't have to go there, right? But it could be like, when did you struggle? When were you trying to keep quiet and trying to keep the peace, right? When I was in high school, I remember I never wanted to shake the boat, and I would keep my, or like for me, actually, no, I was never a people pleaser, but I'm trying to think of like a story for you. Like, when did you try to keep the peace in your life, and how did that impact you?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is keeping the peace, because I thought it would keep me safer, but all it did was create more emotional inner turmoil.
Yeah, perfect. So now we can take each one of these could be a post, right?
Yeah.
But now here's where I want to take it deeper. So when I was this young, I used to keep the peace, but you need to demonstrate. How did you keep the peace? I used to try to keep the peace and not rock the boat by doing XYZ, things that your clients can probably relate to. But what happened was that as I grew up, and you said turmoil. What was the turmoil? It created more turmoil. Give a couple of ways in which that showed up.
Anxiety, panic attacks.
Anxiety when what? Panic attacks when what? Right?
Well, I guess it's just like a big thing that my clients go through is panic attacks. And for me, it was wake up with panic attacks, but not tell anyone because
There we go. Now we're talking.
I didn't want to make a big deal when my family already had enough trauma to deal with.
Yeah, great. Yeah, exactly. That's more precise, right? Like now you're painting a picture. Anxiety is too general. We need to demonstrate how anxiety shows up so that it lands with people. Anxiety, depression, these are all things that is kind of like saying peace, love, and joy. Everyone can interpret it a different way. So we need to paint the picture so that it lands. We need to tell the story. We're painting the picture with a brush and with colors, and like we want to paint with more than black and white. So that's what we're doing. We're like adding color to the picture by saying the specific way in which it showed up, right? You said afraid to express what? When I was thinking X, Y, you know what I mean? Like all of these can just be taken more precisely. Okay, so just to kind of get concise in moving through it. So there's a structure that I like to think with my posts, and I teach my clients like a flow, which is starting with the problem, right? What is the problem that we're addressing? And the problem can be many different things, but that's essentially what we're doing now, right? Then empathy. Empathy is like letting people know, like you're not alone. This is how it feels. I mean, I've been through it. I've helped my clients with it, etc. Then present the solution. Present the solution can also be like, actually, before I go present the solution, is like, when I say empathy, it's like, I get it, you're not alone, but here's what you have been doing that hasn't worked and why it hasn't worked. And then I go into, here's what will work instead. So for you, you're kind of doing it here a little bit, right? You've been sitting in therapy for years, but nothing's happening. But you're not telling them why it's not working.
Okay.
You keep trying to effort in your way, but no amount of self-help tools will actually help you heal until you heal the trauma inside your body. This is still conceptual. So I want to like maybe use an analogy. The reason why therapy hasn't worked is because, and then like I'm trying to think of an analogy for this. It can be as simple as, it's kind of like reading a book and knowing what it says, but not living the result of the book, not applying the tools of the book. You just don't know how. Even you can read 100 books, but still be stuck in the same with the same problems because you don't know how to apply the tools, or you don't know how to apply the concepts. That's what happens when we do therapy. That's what happens when we just use mindset. That's what happens when we only focus on your mind. We need to get inside of your body because it's stored there. And that's what actually helps all the self-help tools and all the therapy and all the things you have done work. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I'm almost asking myself, like, if I were to explain it to like a 15-year-old, what would I say? I would say, right, you can sit and talk about your trauma, but I think like a really simple way to put in, your trauma doesn't just sit in the mind, it also sits in the body. Like a lot of people don't even know that. But I like this, like demonstrating it by, it's like reading a book, but not making any changes, or I think someone put in the chat, like slapping a tire on, like a Band-Aid fix, trying to put a patch
in a tire when the tire wall has blown out, something like that. So this is also something that I do with my clients. We find analogies that land for their client. I mean, we were literally doing that just before. Tracy's still here, right? The analogies that we all come up with analogies, but like analogies can help people get something conceptual. For example, I have a client right now who helps dog owners communicate with their dogs. I mean, she's like a channel, and we've been able to articulate what she does in such a clear way that it lands with anyone. It makes people want to buy it because we came up with analogies around language, right? Like if you speak to someone in Chinese and you speak English, there's going to be conflict. You're not going to understand each other. But she was trying to sell this whole thing about the woo-woo stuff. And it's like, I love it, but we need to land it in a way that is going to make people be like, yes, I need that. Or, oh, I get it. I know what that feels like, right? So analogies can really help you land something if you sell intangible stuff. Even if you sell tangible stuff, I use analogies all of the time. Okay, so now we get into the offer. Seriously, within 4 months, you'll be able to live a life of freedom, inner peace, and step into your purpose. Vague. It's giving vague.
Yeah, that's why I have the next 2 sentences, imagine, but I'm open to if that needs to change.
In 4 months, then just delete this and I would just literally go.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Let's just get into it. What is the actual thing they want? This is too many things. You like to pack things into many things. I can tell. It's fine. We're just slowing it down here. trust yourself in your decisions, so that, like, what's the benefit of being a great decision maker? So that you never again, or so that you can whatever. Like, what's the like result of being a powerful decision maker, right?
I think this is the part that I really struggle with is I hear you say all the time, like communicate the value. And I've studied, you know, what my clients are having amazing results. Like they're coming to me with chronic pain and not having chronic pain anymore. Like it's amazing. But to communicate it, I've always struggled because it's not just one thing. And like if I were to generalize it, it's freedom and being home in your body, but that's way too generalized. Like people don't know how that actually affects them. And then, you know, some people, okay, they can trust their decisions. Other people have finally healthy relationships. They finally speak up and no longer be the peacekeeper. It's like too many things, but it is like, there's not just one thing that a client gets with me.
No, it's fine. It's not a problem. This is a good thing. This is not terrible. This is not a problem. What I'm saying is, what happens when your clients become think about a client who became a powerful decision maker. What was different in her life after working with you, in her day-to-day life? What kind of decisions? Tell me.
Yeah, she doesn't overthink or let the inner critic from her past win.
So you can stop overthinking fighting over what to do in critical or in pivotal moments in life, in daily or pivotal moments in life with her inner critic. That could be like a little bit more, you know, like that's still a little bit vague, right? But it's a little bit more precise, because if they want to stop fighting over what to do with her inner critic and always know what's right for you, right? When we're powerful decision makers, we know what's right for us, and instead always know what's right for you. Do you see what I just did there? I made it more precise. I painted the picture. Having healthy relationships that see your value and being able to take the steps into the unknown without anxiety. Okay, yeah, these two separate things, or are these one steps into what? Into the unknown about the relationships?
Wow, like this is like so valuable.
Sometimes you just need to take a second look.
Yeah, so like having healthy relationships is a huge one, whether it's friendships or romantic, because they've been taken advantage of because they allow people in based on, you know, their chaos from their past or whatever. So having healthy relationships that see your value and no longer take advantage of you.
Here we go. So this was a second thing, right? Another bullet point.
Yeah.
This is a whole thing on its own. No longer staying, like being free, feeling free from being a key speaker, peacekeeper. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is kind of a little bit more of a vibe. Okay, so let's see what else you got. So I want you to work on these things, right? Like notice how you pile all the things and then it's just like too much for people to digest. Now it's a lot about belonging, the freedom yourself to your. Okay, so what I like to do when I make an offer is I like that you're like, here's who you're gonna become. Okay, now you're selling freedom. I don't know if they understand. I think you understand what this means, but I don't think they understand what this means. This is an invitation to fully see you for you. I'm even trying to think like, what does that mean? I would not use that. You know that this is not what they need, what they know, what they understand, right? So here's what I would recommend. I would just recommend that you really build the value. So what we do in my program is we come up with very specific value statements that speak to all the areas that you help your clients with, depending on your methodology, right? So it sounds like you have a method. What you're missing is value statements that speak into that specific method. And so after we do the value statements for the method, which is from 4 months, I will help you, value statement. Then all you need to do is just tell them, like you're overselling at this point. Like you're trying to like convince. So this is all kind of like convincing vibe. I would just literally invite them to take the action, right? It's time for you to apply. This will be the safer content. I always like to say something really bold about my program, and you guys don't have to overpromise, but I know what all of you are here every single one of you here, at least that I know, are so good at holding space for your clients. You really care. You're not like coaches that are just like, I just want the money and then I disappear and I don't deliver. You almost care too much and you overextend yourselves and you over deliver and you give too much. So can we sell at least the value of that, of having a coach in your corner who will have your back at every step of the way, that will really care about you? And if that's the kind of support that you're craving, it's time for you to book a call with me. Like bold versus like me, right?
This is so good. Thank you.
I took my time with this one because there's a lot of things that I know some of you are doing that are similar. Right? Like a little, like there's like the vague and too many things. And so it's just simpler. You have like 10 content ideas from this.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Any questions on this, everybody? If not, oh, good. Okay. So then we have Helen. You are a relationship coach who helps women attract a healthy and loving relationship, and you're selling a 3-month course to help them attract a healthy, loving relationship. Okay, great. So let's take a look at your post. And of course, as always, please tell me if you want to be, I always ask my clients on a scale of 0 to 10, do you want me to be sweet or do you want me to be savage? And you give me consent.
Oh, you can be savage.
So let's do it, everybody. Now that we know what she does, let's see, does this speak to me? Ever wonder why you don't have the relationship she has? Not bad. Okay. I think I give her like a, yeah, I want to read that. You scroll through social media, seeing other women with their partners. You got me. Happy, supported, in love, and you can't help but to think, why can't I have a relationship like that? This is great. Are we engaged? I'm engaged. What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? You feel like you've done the work. Okay, so love what you're doing. See the formula that I gave you guys before? Did you apply this with what I taught you?
Of course.
I know because this was posted September 23, so I know you have been using it. What a change. You feel
it is a change though. It is a change. Yes.
Tell me more.
Because it makes it finally computes in my brain that it's this formula. So what are they going through? The micro problem. What are they feeling? What are they asking themselves? Then what are they doing? And why isn't it working? Empathize and what they can do instead.
That's the vibe. That is the vibe. Have you seen a different response in your audience by any chance?
Yes. Yeah.
What have you experienced?
I've had someone reach out to me. What can I do for self-love? So they've actually messaged me.
Love. And were you experiencing that before?
No.
Okay. So this means this is how we get people to come to us. Do you guys see? Okay.
Yeah, it was a huge, I was like, oh, wow, there you go.
Okay. You feel you've done the work, right? So this is what they've done, read the books, affirmations, so she's listing all the things that they've tried before that haven't worked, tried the diets, But despite all of this, the supportive, emotionally available partner still seems out of reach. Naturally, you feel this way. This is the empathy vibes, right? I totally get it, as I used to be me. Society has conditioned us to keep striving, comparing, and adjusting ourselves, hoping that the perfect relationship will eventually come to us. Oh, okay. But here's what you've been missing. Okay. This is great. I love how you're just like beginning to get a grasp of this. It's focusing on shifting our energy from seeking external validation, from constantly searching outside of ourselves for the one, which creates a repel needy energy, into valuing and believing in yourself energy from within with okay, this is a lot. Now we're getting
I thought it was a bit
that's
too
okay,
crazy.
that's okay. But I'm just here for the savage upgrades. So just know that I still think this is amazing. Within your community, creating boundaries and not settling for anything less than you deserve. This creates a magnetic vibe like bees to honey. The right energy draws the right people into your life. Okay, so there's a few things here, right? That create question marks in the brain of a woman who, if you say this to her. So, and then you go straight into the offer. My 90-day program with way beyond the surface level solutions to help you stop comparing yourself to others and start filling your own cup first, only giving from overflow. You'll be guided to find your own personalized roadmap that's already within you, in which you activate so you can attract the healthy, loving relationships that you've been craving and deserve to have. Okay, like this is so good. I know you've been changing niches for like 10 years. Not just kidding. For like the last year. And I'm so glad like this is where you're going. This is the vibe. So it's a lot clearer, a lot more precise. I understand what you're doing. This is such a great upgrade and you changed so quickly. So congrats. You know what? Here's what I want you to do. I just want you to keep doing this.
Okay, so isn't it too wordsy?
No, I mean, no, the post is not long. Look at
Oh,
this.
sorry, but here's what's missing. Oh, I'm pointing to the screen and no one else can see me.
So no, but here's the thing that I want you to keep on practicing this process with different problems.
I have,
Keep doing that because I just want you to be in the energy of I want you to just become your natural self-expression mode, you know? Sometimes when I start giving upgrades and you're going to start overthinking it, and right now the win is you sharing consistently what you see, sharing consistently what you see versus like, let me sit with for another hour on this post.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to work on. I'm still for the room here. I want to give upgrades in this part. Sometimes when we tell people what the solution really is, like what's being missing, we start saying the thing that we know is the solution instead of what they will understand as the solution. Or let me say that in a different way. The problem or the thing that I see with coaches that are creating a lot of content but is not converting is that they are speaking they're talking about the problem they see instead of the problem the client sees. So the problem you see is seeking energy from external validation and constantly seeking outside of yourself for the one. You see that as the problem. But what are they seeing as the problem? Tell me what you're hearing me saying that.
What are they seeing as the problem?
What do they see as a problem?
Do you mean in terms of what are they experiencing? Or so, well, they're experiencing it's the feelings of what are they? They're experiencing feelings of, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, or they're shut down, and because they don't want to be heard again, so they're experiencing, I think I realize, because I didn't want to talk about the disempowered person from them. So, you know, they're feeling angst, they're feeling extremely hurt, so they don't want to go and find anything, but they're beating up on themselves.
They're what?
They're beating up on themselves and putting themselves down.
Okay, so I guess that this goes into like there's different layers of clients that we want to speak to, which is also something that I teach inside Magnetize. We create levels of the evolution of your client and speak only to the second two levels. Well, the first three levels. I think that the first level for you, it's basically the disempower version. We don't want to speak to the disempower version.
That's it.
So that's level one. So I would not speak to women who are completely shut down for love, because then they're not looking to get help with it. We want to speak to the woman who is maybe hurt, but wants the relationship and is willing to do something to get it, right? Otherwise, why are we wasting time speaking to people who are like shut down, they don't want to do anything? Like, no.
Yes.
Right? So what I mean by that is in this part, when you say what's been missing, right? So you're kind of giving them the solution, okay? So you're saying focusing on shifting your energy from seeking external validation. What does that look like? I'm going to pause there. How are they seeking external validation?
Because they're trying to seek validation from others. So
from who?
Oh, from men.
Okay, what does that look like? You're going in the right direction. What does that look like?
Yes. So what does it look like? Because that's a past version of me.
Okay, how?
Because you've got to look the part, you've got to
keep going.
Yeah, so you've got to look the part to try and feel that you've got to be able to attract the one. You've got to I used to drink, so you would drink to get more courage to find and put yourself out there. Now we're getting into
it. Yes. Do you see how this is landing? So instead of being the woman that on dates is wondering does he like me? Or feeling like you're uncomfortable, so you want another drink or drink before your dates to feel like you can loosen up. Like all these things that Do you see how what I'm doing here is taking Helen, just everyone in the room? What I'm doing here is taking something that is conceptual, focusing on shifting your external validation. What does external validation mean? And I'm helping her paint the picture, take the colors and make a beautiful, vibrant picture that people are going to be like, wow, wow, that's beautiful. She's right now in like black and white color, seeking external validation. We're constantly seeking outside. That's not, I don't understand what that means. But when we start saying, it's like it's painting the version of like what are they doing and what they need to do instead. It can be as simple as like what's been missing is you showing up in a different energy on your dates.
Yeah.
For example, instead of thinking, does he like me? Or can I need a drink before the date or during the date so that I can feel more comfortable? Or I need to look the part in order for him to be attracted to me. What you want to do is, and then you can like ask, do I like him? Right? Like on the date, ask like, does this align with the version of the man that I want? P.S. Are you even clear on that? Have you lost hope that you can get a man like that or that you can attract a man like that? Do you see what I'm doing? I am creating contrast in the two things, right?
Yeah.
That is, and then you can kind of go, that's what creates a magnetic vibe when you are not waiting to be interviewed and be chosen, but you're in the choosing seat.
Yes.
Like you are at choice. You are choosing the man. And right now
that's the empowered.
Yeah. Right now, they don't feel like they can choose because they're like, there's not enough. They're in lack, right? So I want to help you get in your choosing seat. I don't know. I just made that shit up, right? I want to help you become the one who gets to choose, who has a lot of options and who can choose instead of feeling like you're waiting to be chosen.
Yes. Yeah.
You see how much more vibrant that is versus whatever this was, which is great. I'm just kind of like making it come alive. How does that land?
Love it. Thank you.
Okay. What did you guys get from this example? Can I just hear from everyone who is in the room? So I want this to like, don't just hear me say it, but what can I can shorten my post. Actually, I just want to invite you to no, don't say You are so funny. Clear and relatable wins. Yes. Long form is not a problem. But this is a great example of short form being a vibe. Like, listen, I'm working on being more concise. I'm a long form lady. I am long form copy since my day and age, like long form copy was the vibe, studying the grades of copywriting. So now in the world of 220 to 2200 characters or whatever, it's like, all right, let's get to the point here, right? And let's make an offer. So I love that you're being concise, but I just want to offer Sarah that there's beauty also in like when you're compelling, it's okay if you have a longer post. Just sometimes we just don't need all the words. Does that make sense? Okay. In my 90-day program, we go beyond services. Have you compared to others? Okay, so now do you see how now your offer needs to be? This is help you stop comparing yourself to others. Could be a life coach, could be a career coach, it could be a mindset coach, it could be a health coach. So we need to demonstrate what stop comparing yourself to others looks like. And I just don't even think that is the vibe here. I think the vibe is what we were just talking about. Like, I'm going to help you like become I'm going to help you. So what are the things that they want? So clean up any unconscious or any unseen patterns. This is my wording, so maybe don't use it because maybe not be aligned for you, but the blind spots that you don't see you're bringing to your dating life that are repelling men. That's a really cool value statement right there, right? How to become someone who has a lot of options so that you can become the one who chooses instead of feeling chosen, right? And how to clean up any old patterns in your relationships, any stories, any hurt that happened in your previous relationship so that you don't bring it to the next. Do you see how this is way more clear than this sentence?
Yeah.
You'll be guided is like, I will help you create your own roadmap to activate loving relationships. I would say something like, what's different about working with me is that I am not going to be giving you like cookie cutter strategies. I am going to see you deeply, your past, your present, your future, and create a personalized roadmap that will help you activate your radiance, activate, your ability to attract and keep loving relationships, etc. Do you see what I just did? It's like it feels more like a vibe.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Okay. Amazing. Sarah, I love your long posts. I read them. Oh, thank you. That gives me hope. Just kidding. All right, let's go. Who is next? Who is next? So Jeff is a business coach and you help coaches get more clients. You have a one-on-one coaching starting off with a 90-day container. Okay, let's do it. So wait, let me just check. This is a 2-hour thing or this is an hour situation? I don't even, oh, we have another 30 more minutes. Okay, great. Okay, my loves, let's take a look at Jeff's situation. On a scale of 1 to 10, would you like me to be sweet or savage?
Savage, please.
Okay, great. Savage, please. I wonder how many people get told that. I hear it a lot. Okay, so business coach. Does creating content feel like a chore? Yep, I think that probably people feel that way. There's something off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Something off on what?
Are you asking me to answer that?
Yeah. I'm asking
Oh,
you.
got it.
Sorry.
Like why it feels like a chore, right? Like there's something off with, right? Like, does it feel like a chore? There's something off, but you can't put your finger on it.
So when you think of a chore, like doing the dishes,
Mhm.
you're like, something feels up about that. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. So maybe it would make more sense to say something like it feels like an obligation instead of something you want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the energy of obligation is coming off strong and you're
I could probably just delete that second sentence and then just go
Totally.
straight into the, if
That's-
you
I was
feel like
also-
you're on the hamster wheel of content creation, look at it this way.
correct.
Yeah.
We did read this one. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, most likely you started a business around something that you're great at and love, personal development, transformation, men's work, embodiment. In fact, you could train the skills in your chosen field and just work with clients, host retreats, lead groups all day long if it were up to you. It's what you're built for. Okay, love it. You're really speaking to the version of your client that you want to work with. Lots of great things you're doing here. It's like qualifying them, right?
Mm.
Like you're amazing at what you do and you could just do it all day. That's what you're built for. Love it. But when it comes to marketing and content creation, but then comes marketing, content creation, your energy sinks. Love it. You're speaking to like the feeling.
Mhm.
Reminded of many times you've sat down and struggled it out with the keyboard. You could paint a little bit the picture more here. Slugged it out with the keyboard. Sorry.
It's okay.
What is slugged? My bad.
Slugged, like, like fought, like slugged it out.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'm learning so many words today. I don't know if you guys know, but English is not my first language. It's funny enough that I help people with their English words and writing compelling words, which is hilarious. This is why if I can do it, like there's no reason why you guys can't do it. You all are speaking natives, English speaking natives. But I've learned a lot of words today. Slug it out with the keyboard. Or the 20 to 30 takes of the video before you were posting a version or you didn't like. So okay, so you're going back to the pain. It's painful. What if it weren't just about the skill of content creation, but how you're approaching it? Here's what's true. Anything worth having takes work. If you want to run a marathon, you have to train. If you want an amazing relationship, you're going to have to put in the time and effort. Even then, it's still going to be work. It's going to feel like work, even if you think it should be easy. Guys, you don't always love planning a date night. I love that, especially when things are chaotic in your business, but you love it when your woman feels loved, honored, and adored. So you do the work of creating a night to remember. You want an epic relationship, so you're willing to put in the work. But when it comes to the successful business that you want, you dread marketing, content creation, in which you could just show up and coach. So there's I think you're making the point multiple times over here. Like you already said this above, right? We're kind of beating the horse a little bit, right? I love what you're saying. You could have just put this. You already kind of said this,
Yeah, I'm also very long-winded, so it's hard for me.
I get it. It's just good to have our own post be otherwise sometimes, because then we just catch these things. That's like saying, I wish we have an epic relationship. Okay, do you see how you're doing it again?
I am. Yeah, I do.
It's not going to happen. And the same thing is true for your business. You just have to find a way to fall in love with the process, not the result. Sometimes it's going to feel hard and not go as planned, but no matter how you cut the cake, you're still going to have to put in the work, get after it. Okay. How do you feel when you read this post?
Like it should have went somewhere else at the end. It kind of just left me hanging,
Yeah, it's like you're not being helpful.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job at painting the problem,
Mhm.
right? You do a great job at painting the problem, creating analogies, which totally lands, right? Like that could be in the first few sentences. Love it. But you're not offering a perspective shift and a solution. right? Like,
Right.
and I don't mean a solution like, okay, so here's how you plan your content, right?
Yeah.
But you're not taking me to like, now what?
Yeah, that was the intention with like the relationship analogy. Like I tried to work it in there, but then I think I just kind of lost steam towards the end and just was like, all right, I got to post this kind of thing.
So you're kind of like being your client.
I know. It's funny how we do that though, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
So if as a business coach, what would you recommend to a client who is just saying, okay, I just need to post?
Yeah, I mean, I would have taken the time to go back through it and cut out, like I could definitely cut out like 2 paragraphs and then have an actual punchline at the end instead of just insinuating. Like I feel like I hinted at it, but I didn't land the plane, so to speak.
Right. Yeah, like when I read this, and I don't know if you guys can share in the chat how you feel when you read it, and all of you are coaches here, so I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, and you are transformational coaches, etc. So when I read this as a coach, I'm like, oh, I guess this is all I can do about it. You know, like I guess it's just hard. And like, here's a reality. I don't sell the world of like content's so easy. You just should feel effortless and easy. I'm like, no, this is a skill we need to build. And here's how you can make it easy for yourself. So you could, for example, offer, you're overcomplicating it, by the way. And I'm just making this up, right? Something that I would offer a client if I were kind of talking about this is like, you're overcomplicating it and it's a lot simpler than that. All you need to do is, instead of thinking about creating content, document the behind the scenes. Document your life. Start there. If you feel like you're overcomplicating it, just know if it starts to feel hard, it's because you're overcomplicating it. So start here. Document the behind the scenes. The thing that you thought about in the like what I opened with. The thing that you thought about in the kitchen and when you were doing your dishes. Like let yourself flow with what you're creating instead of fighting with your keyboard.
Yeah.
Like you should be best friends with your keyboard. And if not, we need to work together.
Not mad at that. Yeah. That's good. Okay. Cool.
Like I can show you how you can like make content like a part of who you be, like just not even a thing. Thing that becomes a natural part of you, because when you do, then the work won't feel like work, or the work will feel like work, but work that you want to do, that serves you, that propels you, that gives you a payoff, etc. And that's the kind of work that makes you money.
Dig it. Okay, cool.
Right?
Yep.
So spend less time in like the painting of the problem, although you're doing a great job, and spend more time creating the vision, creating the insight and the action to contact you or whatever.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right. Amazing. Okay, my loves, let's go with Kelly Flower. Kelly, you're here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing. How are you feeling today?
Good. Nervous, excited.
Oh, what makes you nervous? Being in front of all the people?
Yeah, and just, it's you're revealing yourself, I guess, a little bit. And so it's a learning. We're learning. That's what I'm here for.
I know it's very vulnerable. It's like we put so much of our hearts into what we do, then it's like having it like revised in front of the people. It's like, shit.
But it's good. But it's
so
good.
Everything I say, I just want to offer for everybody, use it not against you, but in your favor, right? Like everything I say, use it in your favor, not against you, and use it to like get more excited about what you're creating versus be like, shit, I'm really like fucking it up. Like that's just not helpful, right? I'm here to like empower you. So take everything as a sign that you're doing a great job and that there's just a few upgrades. Okay, so oh, I didn't, hold on, let me just read who you are and what you do just for everyone to know. Okay, so you're a financial coach, and who do you help? Individuals who struggle with managing their money, and you offer one-on-one coaching. Okay, so let's take a look at this little baby. When working to build up your emergency fund, sometimes you can look into earning extra money, okay? A great way to do that is to have a side hustle. You may know when to start. Okay, so this is kind of like, what is it? I need a little foreplay here.
It's more educational than it is about me, I guess. I try to put some educational things up and like kind of go from there.
But you're not captivating. You're not getting me into the educational. Like I'm not getting there. It's like, wait, who are we talking to? What is their problem they're feeling?
Okay.
What do they want to emergency fund? You're just making assumptions way ahead of time. So do you have like a specific type of person you work with, or just anybody in the world?
Well, people who are struggling financially. So I work alongside individuals that don't manage their money well, and they're in a lot of debt, living paycheck to paycheck.
All right. Here's what I would offer. That do you want to work with people who live paycheck to paycheck?
I like to work with professionals who have a good income but don't manage it well.
Okay, now let's talk about this, because that we are now deepening into a more empowered. The difference between somebody who is living paycheck to paycheck to someone who has higher income but is in debt and doesn't know how to manage their money is huge.
Okay.
And that's why we know that's one of the first things that we do inside Magnetize. We precision, we clarify that person, because if you're speaking to paycheck, what do you think you're going to get in your sales calls?
Paycheck to paycheck.
Can't afford it because
lower income. Yeah, they can't.
Lower income, paycheck to paycheck. So we need to make sure that we're qualifying the right people in your post in the very first line, even though you have higher income, or even though you have a high income, your bank account doesn't reflect it. Boom, qualified.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see what I mean? Now we're like weeding out the low income people.
Yeah.
And you can imagine even having an emergency fund, because your income is going to pay your debt. I imagine this is how it works, right?
Yeah.
Now you're talking about a high side hustle. Okay, well, let me just see where you're going with this. You may not know where to start. Here are some ideas to move you in the right direction. Or freelancing. Okay, you're telling them to get a second job. Okay, another way to. Okay, how to earn extra cash. Babysitting. Oh my God, this is a lot. Okay, so you're basically telling them if you want an emergency fund, you need more money. Here's how to get more money, and you give them a list of ideas. And then you tell them having your fully funded emergency fund gives you the peace and security, knowing that an emergency arises, you have them to take care of it. This should be going up to the front.
Okay.
Right? But also, it takes the crisis out of inconvenience, and that's feeling all right. Having a plan gives you clarity when you are where you want to go. It helps build the confidence you want, knowing the tools to be in control, leading to decrease stress, improve life. Okay, so you're kind of painting the vision, and emergency fund is a crucial part of the plan. If that safety net, it's that safety net that allows you to sleep a little bit differently at night, worry-free. So if you're in this phase of your financial journey and you're looking to increase your savings quicker than think side hustle, it will get you moving faster in your goal. Let me ask you a question. Is what you're trying to do kind of saying like, here's what you could do, but actually I can help you get there without doing a side hustle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I get
But I didn't put the,
This
okay.
is definitely not taking me there.
Right.
Okay, I understand. But also you're not telling me what the method is. You're taking up the entire thing. Like I am reading this and I'm like, I don't want to do any of this.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop reading because that's basically what you're telling me to do.
Okay.
Here are some ideas to move you in the right direction. Wait, but this is not the right direction. That's why I thought you were telling me about that this is what I should be doing. So this is some mistakes people make when they think about creating more income. Boom. They think of a side hustle. You see, now we're making, now we're juicing it up. Because in the end, what you're saying is, this is not what you need to do, actually. You don't have time for this. You have a job. You have other things to take care of. So, but you still want an emergency fund. What I do is I can help you create an emergency fund without having to take a side hustle, just by helping you manage your money better, by helping you paying your debt faster, by helping you blah, blah, blah. So if you don't want a side hustle, add more work to your plate and instead just rearrange things in how you manage your money so that you can see cash flowing versus whatever the other opposite is, book a call with me.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference?
Yeah, you change it around to, I'm downplaying them. I'm giving them ideas that they really don't want to do. I'm not viewing it from their standpoint because they really don't want to have to work anymore. They want to be able to manage and do it with the money that they already have. And so rewording all of that instead. Yeah. So
this is not this is not educational.
Okay.
You guys, I want to speak about this whole educational thing because I can see a lot of people getting into the educational world, and I'm just going to stop sharing because I feel like you got the point, right? Now we know what to do.
I did. Yep.
Okay. So I think we need to start. The market has evolved so much that giving like 5 tips in order to do this, it's like such a minute part of your content, like it can help, but it's not the reason why people are going to be like, my God, I need to pay you $10,000 to work with you. I need to pay you $5,000 to work. I need to pay you $2,000. I need to pay you anything to work with you because you're giving me some tips. And what that does is it makes people want to follow you, save your account, save your post, but they're not going to be compelled to want to say, I'm ready to work with this person.
Right.
You're giving free shit. You're not shifting. Education doesn't mean giving tips. It means shifting perception. We need to shift the perception of what people think they need and what they actually need, or what they think the solution is, but what the actual solution is instead. And so, or you know, what you were saying, the educational content, that the way that you were trying to educate Kelly was by saying, hey, you were trying to shift their perspective at this point, that they don't need to work more and add another side hustle, which they might think that's the only way for me to make more money and to get an emergency fund. I need to work harder. I need to add another side hustle, such as XYZ. But that's not actually what you need. You don't need to add another job. All you need to do is learn how to manage your money. That's education. Now you're educating me. Oh, I don't have to do all these things. I just need to shift my perspective around what I think that I need to do. And I know that on Instagram, we see a lot of things like 5 things that da-da-da. That's good content for reach. You can have that in your content repertoire for reach, like reaching new people and doing like the whole like attracting people. But in order to actually nurture and convert, you need more, like you need a different type of content. So that, I know that that's not what you were doing. You were not doing 3 things that you need to do, but you were talking about educational, and I wanted to offer what it means to be educational. Okay, did that land?
Yes,
All right.
it did. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. So how do you guys see this type of support making a difference in your content? Can you see the difference? Like when you have the upgrades, like has your perspective been shifted in this call? The reason why I'm saying that is because when we have a different perspective outside of our own world, things can just quickly shift. It can quickly change. And it is important to understand how we can do this on our own, so that then we can let ChatGPT kind of follow whatever our voice is. So we can then use maybe a copywriter, but we cannot outsource this to a different person. We need to understand how to do it on our own, and it doesn't have to be difficult. And if this is the kind of support that you want, then you know where to find me. Magnetize and monetize. I will be doing this copy coaching round myself. This doesn't happen. Normally my copywriter does it, but in this round, I decided that I want a lot of intimacy with my clients. And so I wanted to give you the opportunity to be with me twice a week, not just on the strategy, the mindset call that we do on Thursdays, but also the copy coaching. So this is the kind of coaching that I will give you. I mean, this is very high level, but if this is the kind of support that you've been craving, really listen to that call. I know that Jeff was like, I feel called. Well, the vibe, if you feel called to magnetize, not you, Jeff, but just anyone who is watching the replay or here, really let yourself receive that support, because this is not, it's like, we cannot want, if we have a surgery, a heart problem, we cannot try to do heart surgery on our own. We need a surgeon, right? You guys are maybe trying to do heart surgery on your own, and like, careful, right? Or it's not gonna probably work out the way it would if you had somebody actually doing the procedure for you, holding you through your healing process, etc. It's the same thing with copy, it's the same thing with marketing, the same thing with everything in your business. And so if that's a support you'll be craving, I just really want to invite you. This is the last week to apply. If you're not sure, send me a message. If you're like, oh, I'm on the fence, like really just reach out, don't be afraid. And if it's not the right fit, I'll let you know. I have actually declined a lot of applications this round because I only want the right group. I want the right group who's at the right point in time. And I don't mean to say like people are wrong. I'm just saying I don't make an offer to somebody that I don't believe that I can help, because I want you guys to have an amazing experience. And Danette probably as a client can attest to that. So if you feel that call, you can always send me a message and I'll let you know if I feel like I can help you. All right, with that said, let's do a final little round. I think, is there anyone here left actually? Oh, Cheryl, you're here.
I'm here, but I'm not sure I understood the assignment as well as when I saw everyone else's posts come up. I just kind of put the blurb of what my actual offer, like my help.
So you don't have anything for revision?
Well, no, I'm sure I do, but I don't know. You have a look at it and see what you think.
Okay, so we'll do this as the last, oh, I also have Danette. I actually want to take a look, Danette. Okay, well, the copy that you want reviewed is your statement essentially. I help women who are tired of. What type of coach are you? Life coach. Who do you help?
Life
Women who
are.
I'm just gonna read what you're saying here.
Oh,
Women
sorry.
who feel completely stuck, can't make a decision. Stress is affecting all areas of life. She feels like she's a parenting issue or a partnership issue, but struggles go from one external trigger to another, and they're tired of an external band-aid solution. I help women who are tired, and then the thing that you want revised is the following: your I help statement, I believe.
Yeah.
I help women who are tired of feeling stuck in the same struggles with their teens, partners, or careers realize that the real fight is within. That's what you want them to know, but that's not what they're going to buy. We don't have forever to figure out things out, and I'm here to guide you through the transformation that will make your life unrecognizable. No more hiding, no more waiting. Life is passing by and it's time to take control. So it's similar to what I was talking to Sarah about, like the too many things going on, right? You're speaking in the beginning about tired of feeling stuck in the same struggles. What struggles? Okay, you say teens, partner, or careers. That's a lot of different things. Okay, so you help moms. You help moms, right? Because they have teens.
Yes. So this comes off of me doing a podcast for parents. And as I do all these interviews, I discover it's more about them and not about the kid. But it's not.
I understand. But here's the thing. I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
They're not seeing it that way. They think they think the kid is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not gonna be like, I'm the problem. So I teach my clients 3 different layers of problem: the external problem, which is what your clients see; the internal problem, which is how it makes them feel; and then the philosophical problem, like the big real, like why this should not be happening, right? The external problem your people see is like like my teens, my partner, and my career, not a vibe. And that makes them feel, I don't know how that makes them feel. How does it make them feel?
Lost, frustrated.
Okay, lost and frustrated.
Okay. Not the life I chose.
Stuck with a life that you feel that you didn't choose.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking. This is good. Okay, now I'm getting all sorts of vibes around all of your person, right? So it's like you help women who feel stuck with a life that they feel they didn't choose, their kids, their partner, and their career, and then whatever result it is that they want. I don't know exactly because I haven't talked to your clients. This is one of the things that I help my clients do, get the words from their people.
Yeah.
But it's something like break free or recreate, redesign, rearrange it so that they can actually I would be savage enough to be like, by the time they're on their deathbed, know that they lived a life well lived.
Yeah, and that's exactly where the time going by
Yeah,
I was trying to make.
That's why I kind of went there, because you talked about like times passing by, like we don't have all the time in the world. So something like that. That's a whole niche. That's a whole vibe. Majority of women in the world who are married early, whatever, that's such a niche and a problem. But you're kind of like a little bit unclear about how to communicate it. So I would make those adjustments.
Okay. Thank you.
Your content pillars could be like kids, partner. Your content pillars are the things that they see as the problem: their kids, their partner, and their career. Do you see what people do? People are like, content pillars: self-love. I don't know what you would say, but you probably fighting within your patterns, your wounds. Like, no, wounds is not the content pillar. The content pillar is what they see as the problem. So those are your content pillars, and then you talk about all those content pillars as the thing that they see as a trigger. Okay. Is that helpful?
Very, very. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Final one, Danette. Let's do it. Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you again. It's so much fun.
This call was so helpful. I can't believe I get 3 more months of this. And then I realized, what the hell have I been doing since I left the mastermind? I'm so embarrassed for you to read what you're going to read right now, honestly.
It's fine. This is
yes, go complete savage on my ass, please.
Let's go. Okay. So you help women find their this one
attract high.
Funny you said non-committed men.
Yeah.
Oh, women who attract non-committed men. Oh, got it. Yeah. 5 months of coaching, love coach. Okay, got it. Self-nurturing. If you're like many ambitious, by the way, you know what you have been doing? You've been having a baby and elevating your life to a whole other level. So just FYI, that's what
right now I'm letting him eat my passport just so I could do this call.
I'll deliver. No pressure. If you're like many ambitious and loving women, okay, you might find that daily responsibilities and giving to others often leave you with little energy for self-nurturing. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm seeing. This can in turn affect the types of relationships you attract. Okay. You may be extremely responsible, kind, and sometimes even too nice. This just needs a little bit more depth, or precision. So what, responsible for what, kind to who, nice to who, right? Like in what ways? Well, these are amazing qualities that can also lead to a common challenge, not making time for your own well-being. Okay, so now we're talking about well-being. Well, let's be clear. This isn't necessarily a time problem. It's often a priority problem. I am all over the place here. I don't know where I'm going.
Okay.
I'm like, is this well-being? Is this what's going on? But that's fine. Let's keep going. I'm going to give you the upgrades. You might be wondering, why is it important to prioritize self-nurturing, especially if you are interested and attracted? Let me tell you just the point here. People have no idea what self-nurturing is. You drop the bomb here and people are like, out. I don't know what this is. Maybe your raving fans might read it because they love you, but majority of people will be like out of too many balls. Remember I told you about like when we are confusing, when we give concepts that people don't grasp or don't understand, it's like giving them more calories to burn. So this is one of them. Self-nurturing, it's not something they know what even it is. I don't even know what you mean by that. I mean, I think I know, but what do you mean by that?
Well, I actually am using that word because that's what the client, I'm coaching women right now that's keep coming up. They're
But
not
they
giving
told
them-
you?
Like, well, no, you're right. Yeah, they didn't say those words. It's actually
Correct.
other words.
What were the
Actually,
words they said?
Actually, one of them just said, actually, one did say self-nurture. I feel like I need more nurturing of myself to attract a man who wants to nurture me. She came up with that statement.
Okay, but not majority of your clients.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
no.
so what's the majority say?
They're not allowing themselves to express themselves authentically, or they don't have enough time to like do something they enjoy.
Got it. Okay, something they enjoy, tend to themselves.
Or even like writing themselves a love note. They're not even, they want a man who will write them a love note, but they don't even have time to write themselves a love note.
Okay, got it. Okay, so the vibe here is more like, listen up. I know you want a man who, and then all the demands they want of a man. Writes you love notes, brings you flowers, asks you how you're feeling, checks in with your whenever you're not feeling, whenever you have a little bit of a fit, they always ask you like, how are you feeling? How can I help? Like, how can I get better? They list all the things, the demands that these women want, and then punchline. But let me ask you, are you doing that for yourself?
Yeah.
If you want a man who shows up that way for you, the way to attract it is doing that for you first. Here's the problem, that you might not even know how to do that. You might think it takes too much time. You might think that you've tried it before, it already hasn't worked. I get it. The clients that I work with come to me having the same problem. But what they're doing is they're taking it they're doing it out of obligation. They're attached, like what they're doing is they're doing it out of obligation and like attachment to the goal, which is getting the man. They're not doing it for them.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not working. You're still attached. We need to clean that up in order for all the work to land. That's what we need to work together. I just made that up. But do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Like the problem could also be other things, but I just came up with a problem that I just imagined these women. When I say the problem is I'm showing them why what they have tried doesn't work, right? So if they have done it, you have to think about, okay, if they've done it, why hasn't it worked? Because you're doing it as an obligation, or because you actually don't know how to nurture yourself. You don't know, you might actually not know what to write when you want to write yourself a love note. You haven't found the things that you really love about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Now we're talking, and this is what I help you explore and get crystal clear on, so that your person sees you that way, because you see yourself that way.
Yeah, it's true.
So what is landing? What is not landing? What's coming up?
Just a lot of the stuff that I learned from you before is like coming up on, oh yeah, no wonder. It makes sense. Like, this looks horrible. This piece of paper I'm looking at it's so weird to read.
This one?
Yeah.
No, but Danette, wait, hold on. We need to apply your own tools to yourself.
No, I mean, you know what I also realized, you're talking to someone else because you said, what's your intention with this? I realize sometimes I don't have an intention other than sharing what's on my heart. I forget that there's actual deeper intention.
Sharing from your heart is definitely an intention. It's fine. I just want you to have freedom around that. It's like the poeticness, the thing that we just want to share, the coming through, the breakthrough, right? It's fine to do that. I just think this has potential to be more. I mean, my job is to help you guys with the conversion, right? That's my job. So I'm taking this from an angle of conversion.
No, that's exactly why I'm joining your mastermind again, because that's truly what I desire.
Right.
That's why your feedback is so valuable to me, because I truly desire that.
Great. Permission for the love. I mean, for the overflow of like ideas, etc. But like, there's just so much potential in here that like, why wouldn't you use it to invite people to come to work with you? But the real thing the point that I want to land here just for you, because especially the timeliness of this and the serendipity of this moment right now, reading this post about self-nurturing and like hearing you say like relate to your piece of work in that way, like I just wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
I want you to have a lot of love for everything you write, a lot of compassion for yourself as you keep elevating, because otherwise it's not gonna feel. I'm sorry.
Thank you for reminding me of that. It's interesting because even last year, the very first thing you had to tell me is, I want you to have compassion for yourself. I don't know if you remember that. So
Yeah,
it seems like that's still going on. Okay.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, you've come a long way, a huge way. I mean, I've seen your glow up has been wild in the best way possible. So this is just deeper, more, and it's easy, right? We just keep on just deepening the pattern of like, how can I love me in relationship to my business and my creation even more? How can I applaud myself for having done it? How can I like appreciate myself for showing up instead of like trying to perfect it, right? Like this is so much to be really appreciative of. Like I'm seeing so much potential here. You're like, oh my God, this is terrible. I'm like, no, this is amazing. Let's just use the pieces, right? So it's just the vibe that we use to relate to our work is so important, right? It's kind of like if this was your baby, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, you're terrible. You'd be like, oh baby, like good job, like we can work with this, you know. True. Like having like love and appreciation for what you have created.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
thank you.
You're so welcome. I can't wait to have you. Woo!
Yay, I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
Yes. All right, my dear loves, any final remarks, takeaways? What do you take away from this call? I'm curious to hear. Thank you. You're so welcome, Sarah. Okay, it was great. Love it. I want you to just after the call, before you pee, before you get out from your chair, move on with your life and just get on with it, right? Just like really take a moment to not let this just be a workshop that you attended and then forgot about. Like take just one or two things that you're going to apply in your content moving forward, that just intentionally are going, like something that really hit you, and just really use it, because this truly is extremely valuable. Sometimes we just keep on attending things and whatever and not apply it, but I want to give you the opportunity to just write down the two things that you want to apply before you get off and get up from your desk. All right, my loves. For those of you who are watching the replay, let me know what your takeaways were. And also remember that it's time to apply. I can't wait to see you all in there. We're going to have the best cohort ever. I love you all. So good to see you. Bye.